Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name is Zophar, and this is my Game Week 1 draft for the 2025 season. We are well and truly back. This is the first video you're watching on our channel. I highly recommend going back and checking out all the content we've done in preseason. We've covered chip strategy, we've covered midfielders, defenders, forwards, and comparisons, whole lot. If it's the first time you're visiting, do remember to hit the like and subscribe button. We're aiming to hit 40,000 subscribers before the Game Week 1 deadline. Speaking of which, we have a very special offer. Now, for the up to Game Week 1 deadline, that's over the next 48 hours, we're offering our Patreons 50% discount on the first month of sign up. You get access to our FPL Wire Discord chat server, team insights, strategy deep dives, Q&A, and weekly moves, all at half the price. Join now and start your season ahead of the competition. The URL is patreon.com/the FPL Wire, or you can get on board using the QR code. This offer expires after the Game Week 1 deadline. So get in there now. The discussions are absolutely popping in our Discord. And all the data you're going to be seeing in this video is from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. They've done outstanding work this season. They've updated all the data with all the DEFCON stuff in there. Worth checking out, and they're also having a 40% offer now. If you use the QR code you see on the screen, you help support the pod as well. You can also use the link you see in the description. Now let's get started. First up, let's look at the defense projections now for the seasons that's coming. This is from Solio and Rob D. Liverpool are right up there, along with Arsenal, Man City. The top three teams of last season, where you'd expect them to be. Chelsea are fourth, and Villa are sixth, with Forest in fifth. Everton are in seventh. Tottenham obviously have received a bump now. That I think is a Thomas Frank effect that sees them in eighth now. Newcastle in ninth, 10th. Palace are a little bit low. I think maybe European involvement has seen their prospects dented a little bit, while Man United are in 12th. The bottom three sides, obviously, are the promoted guys: Leeds, Sunderland, and Burnley, with Brentford in 17th. Bournemouth, you see, have taken a big hit also because all of their defensive changes. Now, first up, I wanted to make the case for two of my most favorite defenders. Now, I like attacking defenders. I know DEFCON has changed the game a little bit, but I still want my defenders to have attacking potential because I just like watching football rather than just count tackles, DEFCON points, and stuff like that. So last year, this is sorted by expected goal involvement for the Fantasy Football Scout members area. I see Munoz up there, 4.18 XGI, the highest of any defender last season, and you see Poro in fifth. Now, Poro had a bit of a different role under Ange. He wasn't given, I think, as many set pieces last season. I think this year he's going to be taking a lot more. And as we saw in the Super Cup yesterday, he already got an assist from that. And I do expect Frank's team to be a lot better defensively. So I really like Poro for the opening few fixtures. You could go for a Van der Ven or Romero, but I think at 5.5, he could be a steal because I think he will also be very good on the DEFCON. Speaking of DEFCON, this numbers here now, these are from Tom Hadley. You see there, Anderson is in fifth. Tarkovsky, Murillo, Lacroix are obviously the DEFCON monsters. We've heard news that Brathwaite potentially might be injured. We're not looking there. Munoz doesn't feature very favorably, nor does Poro, because I don't think Poro suited Ange's style for DEFCON last year. This year it might be a totally different ball game, I think. This is a rotation I like for my chief defenders. The idea is Poro and Munoz will be paying every week, but just spend some time looking at this. Right now, this is Leeds, Man United, and Fulham. Leeds, you can get a 4.2 defender in Rodon. Man United, you can get Dorgu. And Fulham, you can get Anderson. So, game week 1, you play Rodon, Everton at home. Game week 2, you play Fulham, Anderson at home. Game week 3, Dorgu has Burnley at home. Then game week 4 and 5, Fulham has Leeds at home, Brentford at home. Game week 6, I will most likely free hit, but if you don't want to, Leeds have Bournemouth at home. Not a great fixture. Man United have Sunderland at home in 7, and then Leeds have Burnley away in 8. So you can just rotate these guys for the third spot. And if you don't want to go for the Dorgu option, you see over here Leeds and Fulham, the rotation is actually self-contained. You're getting a decent fixture just by rotating these guys. So even if Dorgu does lose his place, not the end of the world, but I really like the upside there from a wing back in game week 3 and game week 7, rather than going for somebody like an Agbadu who does have decent fixtures in those weeks, but not as much attacking upside. Also want you guys to pay the attention to this table, why I like Fulham a lot. You see they're fifth for XGC last season. And also I want to highlight Bruno Fernandes' opponents now. The five game weeks, Bruno plays Liverpool, who are second, sorry, Arsenal, who are first, and then he plays Fulham, who are fifth over here. Then Burnley obviously is a good fixture. Then game week 4, he plays Man City, who are sixth, and Chelsea, who are third. While I think Bruno is a top pick, and my team it's come down to Watkins versus Wirtz versus Bruno. And because of the fixtures initially for Man United, I'm just favoring the first two. I may look to get Bruno in a little bit later once I see the team also has settled in a little bit. Now, these are the goal projections. Now, traditionally, what I try to do, I try to get teams, attackers from teams in the top six of this table, top seven, as much as possible, right? Obviously, Man City becomes a little bit difficult to invest in, but I've gone for Reindeers for that reason. Offers a little bit of attacking threat, bit of an unknown, but just a piece into the Man City attack just so that I can watch them play a little bit. Liverpool, 12.9 projected to be right up there. These numbers I expect will go up even more once Isak signs. Chelsea are in third, Arsenal are in fourth. Fixtures are a little bit mixed, I guess, to start with. They get a lot better from game week 7 onwards. That's when I will be looking to invest in the Gunners. But if I want to go for a Gyökeres or Saka, I think they're fantastic picks as well. Tottenham is a little bit difficult to invest in the attack at the moment. Solanke is the one I want, but I don't think he's fully fit yet. So in which case, I think Porter gives me a bit of an attacking threat into it. Villa, I like Rogers and Watkins. They have a great run over there. You see Villa in sixth, and I think at their prices, they could both be great value. So as much as possible, I wanted to get attackers from these sides rather than somebody from, let's say, an Everton or a Wolves or a West Ham. They have decent options there. You have Endai there, you have Bowen there, you have Strand Larson, who could all potentially be talismanic. But as far as possible, these top six guys, I think are more reliable in terms of attack. Similarly, you look at the season-long goal involvements here. Haaland's right at the top. Think he's a great pick, but I think for the first few weeks, I just prefer Salah. I might look to switch him to Haaland around game week 6 or 7, depending on where I free hit. Palmer expected to have another big season. I think game week 2 and 3, I will be looking to him for my captaincy. Potentially 3, I think I like Salah away to Newcastle. Fernandez, obviously the projections are good. Now, somebody on our Discord did mention to me that if I told you that Fernandez is going to outscore Words by 20 points over the season, would you still buy Words? I'd say yes, because fixtures matter. I don't think he's going to be getting the majority of his returns in the first 5 game weeks. I'll buy him in the game weeks after that. I think Words' fixtures for the first 5 are better, and I think his ceiling is better. But Bruno obviously is a fantastic pick. See, Words over there, I think he's in ninth now for season long projections. Watkins is in 10th. Now, Rogers, you see that is in 14th. Now, that point 0.5 upgrading to Rogers over, let's say, a Saru 6.5, I think that point 0.5 is money well spent. Joao Pedro and Mateta, I'm still not completely sold on going for Joao Pedro, but just as a Chelsea fan, I don't want to be nervous every time Joao Pedro takes a shot. So it's just more of a heart over head pick over there. But I think Mateta is fantastic as well. Now, also keeping in mind, I'm going to free hit in game week 6. These are the teams I think you see in the ticker over here. Villa, Tottenham, Fulham, Palace, second, third, fourth, fifth. So I want a piece of those. Now, Forest, if you remove the game week 6 fixture, which is against Sunderland, the fixture list isn't that great. The first six, I think, will be in this sticker. You see, I see 3 clean sheets as Brentford, West Ham, and Burnley. They don't necessarily need to double up on their defense over there. I'm happy with just going with cells. Chelsea also, the run is, I think, Palace, West Ham, Fulham. The start is good, and then it starts getting a little bit tougher from around game week 5 onwards. That's when I potentially might look to lose Joao Pedro, might potentially use to look Palmer as a make weight for Haaland, depending on how Chelsea start. You might ask me why you're going for Liverpool players. I mean, Liverpool are bottom of the ticker. I just think they're the best team in the league. I think they're still better than all the teams they're going to face. I'm not as much worried over that, but the run does get a bit tougher from game week 7 on. That's when I will look to ditch that. This is how my team looks. I've got Cells in goal with Dubravka as the backup. Munoz and Porro, my two attacking fullbacks who will play every game. Rodon will play this week, as shown in the rotation earlier. Wirtz and Salah, the Liverpool double up in attack with Salah captain. Reindeers at 5.5 can become KDH or any other 5.5 mid. I just like him for a bit more upside than somebody like an Anderson. Palmer and Rogers. Rogers was training. I think he's expected to be fit, so ignore the yellow flag over there. Joao Pedro and Watkins with Guiu, Dorgu, and Anderson on the bench in the rotation, as I mentioned earlier. So again, it gives me a strong squad. I think in terms of the attackers, I mentioned a focus on the top six. In defenses, also I'm backing good defenses most weeks. Like Munoz, Dorgu, and Pedro Porro are just fun picks to have. I like that. And I do have the backups of Rodon and Anderson, who are DEFCON monsters who can step in any fixtures. And I'm hoping Guiu can also start playing very soon. So this is how I'm set up. Again, a reminder, if you like the content, do like and subscribe. We're trying to hit that 40K mark. I hope to see you on our Discord to get chatting. Things are absolutely popping ahead of the FPL deadline, and I'm very, very excited. We will also be doing the deadline stream on Friday night after your very, very kind comments. We just couldn't ignore them. If you're around, do tune in. We shall see you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.